You're listening to.
You're listening to.
You're listening to.
Y'all are listening to What's Left of the South.
Well, y'all, we made it. Nelson's pissing into the microphone right now.
Ew.
Ew.
I'll give him a bigger tip when they get here. Be alright.
Well, we did it.
We made it.
We made it to somewhere in Georgia. That's a pretty
Undisclosed
big
location.
city with an
It's only being
aquarium.
released after we leave. They can know that we've gone here.
We're in Atlanta.
In the prison hotel.
if you're listening to this and you live in Atlanta, no, we did not want to meet up with you. Unless, yeah. Anyway, so we did it. That was me pressing up against the wall.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna like collapse. This entire
Professional.
hotel is scary.
Nelson's just a whiny little rich boy.
I'm scared. Listen, this hotel reminds me of the back rooms. There's no, when you get off the elevator, there's no like sign. It's like room 300 to 350 is this way, and whatever to whatever is this way. It's like, where do we go?
So the hotel is gray and gray. And it's got a disused cop car
I was
parked
about
out
to say the
front.
abandoned cop
Well,
car.
it's just a brutalist hotel.
This is Atlanta.
We can hear the highway. We are like literally across the highway from some of the runways in the airport.
Oh,
And
man.
we're all exhausted because we got caught in a rainstorm. But
We did.
now we have to talk about the last 2 days.
We
So-
got to the rainstorm in the chronological order.
So we got here, right, and then we went to Chili's. And Mark did not have a mental breakdown at Chili's.
Somehow.
Yay.
Congrats, Mark.
Thanks, Lex Pro.
And we got the sampler platter.
Non-spawn Lexapro.
It could be.
Lexapro sponsor us.
Oh, they like a little commercial running through a field.
And not scurrying through the hallways in the hotel.
dressed up in a possum costume.
Side effects.
Podcasting.
Mark is always, every time we meet up, Mark wants to go to like local restaurants, which is fine, but we're always freaking exhausted and we cannot be bothered to find a local restaurant.
I want something I know where we go, everyone knows our name.
Homogenized.
I don't want to have to think too hard about the menu.
This is America. Every 20 miles, there's an Olive Garden and a Chili's and a
Chili's.
Lowe's.
Applebee's. Oh yeah, having to drive through all those parking lots to get to the fucking restaurant.
Well, first there's a huge accident on the highway, so like we're stuck in the traffic jam, and then the directions take us randomly onto this little like U-turn by road. It was like 500 feet. We went down the road and then had to get back into traffic.
Oh yeah, I forgot it did that. It like took me off the road onto that side street, then back onto the main road. Google Maps just made me an asshole.
And then when we finally like found the shopping center where the Chili's was, we had to drive through like 2 miles of parking lots to get to it. Instead of like taking us on the highway to where the turn-in is to that side, no, we had to go through the parking lots where we witnessed just a tiny bit of solicitation.
Gotta make money.
Good for her, honestly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we made it to Chili's, and then shit, I think we just came back and fell asleep.
We came back and fell asleep. Mark snores.
I do not.
You
These are
snore.
Allegations.
Mark and I both snored at different times.
Reading the snoring allegations.
Mark also yells in his sleep. It scared me.
Also, this hotel is trying to steal our money.
Oh yeah, the hotel tried to steal our money.
So we were like separating the costs by Mr. Speaker and I paying for the hotel and Nelson paying for the attractions. And when Nelson checked in, the check-in lady was, I guess, talking too fast for
I
him.
was too tired.
So when he thought he was paying a deposit, he actually paid the whole room rate when it was supposed to go on our credit card. And then we had to go down the next morning like good little millennials and say,
Apologize for us not understanding and fix it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you tried to steal my money.
I'll give you more money, please.
Please, I'm sorry.
Just don't hate us, please.
I'm so sorry.
And then, oh my god, we tried to find breakfast.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Breakfast.
So, okay.
I forgot
So
about
we
it.
decide, so obviously we're too rotund to go sit in a Waffle House booth.
Damn.
So we were like, no, Denny's is. We had Denny's last time, so we're like, let's try IHOP. So then we go, I type in the closest IHOP, and I don't need look to see exactly where it is. I just see it's the closest IHOP, and I click directions. It takes us to the fucking
Airport.
terminal of Hartfield Jackson Airport. It's like, what the fuck?
It just drove directly into
It's
into
just-
the
To
departure
limit
lanes.
departures and arrivals for Hartfield Jackson, the busiest airport in the fucking world. It's like,
I didn't know
There's
there
an
was an
IHOP.
IHOP inside the terminal.
I'm like, what the fuck?
And then we went to look for another IHOP,
Wow, here we go. And then we go type in This is the second closest IHOP.
which takes us through the historic district of what?
Fayetteville.
Okay, which has the original Chick-fil-A.
Correct.
It's like great. Half of this podcast is queer, and we found the original
Original
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A.
on the way there. And then we pull into where this IHOP is, and guess what?
What?
Motherfuckers
It's
closed
closed.
because they're pressure washing it at like 10 o'clock on a Friday.
They're like pressure washing every. It's just like, what the fuck? So
so
then, third time's a charm. But we decided we're going to go to Cracker Barrel instead.
but there was an IHOP directly next to it.
Yeah.
We navigated to the other IHOP and then went, oh, let's just go to the Cracker Barrel that's next to it.
Ugh. And then apparently.
We have doppelgangers.
We have doppelgangers in the Atlanta metro area because the lady was like, I remember serving y'all before. And I was like, maybe this is the first time we've ever been here.
None of us have been here before.
I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
telling you, it was the timelines diverging.
We've come from 3 different cities on 2 continents to be here. You have never served
You
us
have
before.
never served us. It's the time. It really is. It's the timeline. We fixed the timeline though.
The timeline was trying to stop us from fixing it.
It was the Backrooms Hotel, finding the IHOP, and then we got to the Atlanta Aquarium, and we made sure that from the walk from where I parked the car to the aquarium was going to be the toughest challenge, and that the timeline was going to try and throw stuff at us. And if we saw our doppelgangers, we were not supposed to run to them. And we followed Mr. Speaker,
Our fearless leader.
our fearless British leader. He led us to the promised land. We figured the Brits have good navigational skills.
They didn't get lost half as often as the Spanish or the Italian.
Britannia rules the waves. And so we got into the aquarium, and
Finally.
everything was made right again.
We saw the damn whale.
We saw the whale.
Whale shark. We saw the damn shark.
A whale shark. And
Congrats to us.
I got to do the monologue from Jaws in front of an actual tiger shark. 1,100 men went into the water.
Please don't. Not again.
And Mark did not have a panic attack.
Nor did he lose a leg.
Good job, Mark.
Wow. It's almost like I'm normal.
I wouldn't go that far.
The Lexapro didn't get you that far, Mark.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer.
We spent a few hours at the aquarium, had a marvelous time, saw some sharks.
And then it all went wrong. We got over ambitious.
We left the aquarium, and this is the weirdest triangle in the world.
Oh, yeah.
This area.
This
so
area.
so where the Georgia Aquarium is, there's one point of the triangle. Another point of the triangle is World of Coke. The third point of the triangle is the
Human right.
Human Rights Museum.
Human Rights and Civil Rights Museum. It was like, what the fuck is
And
this?
between these 3 points is like a grass yard where all the grass is dead. All of the grass is dead. It's just yellow and packed down dead grass. And there's like Christmas ornaments, like giant Christmas ornaments that they've used for decorations, like all over this lawn. So it's just like dead lawn and giant Christmas ornaments that look like they've just like come down like comets into the grass.
And everyone was at the aquarium of the Coke Museum, and nobody cared about civil or human rights.
Which unfortunately included us because our brains could not deal with anything.
So we decided to embrace capitalism,
We went to the Cathedral of Capitalism, World of Coke.
and they had 2 people dressed up as Coca-Cola princesses
Princess Coke and Princess Sprite.
to tell us about Coca-Cola.
and to show us so much propaganda.
So much.
Just so
we
much.
literally we watched 2 Coca-Cola movies.
Yeah.
So we sit in this fucking movie theater, and it shows us this like propaganda film. Like
We didn't
how
have
much-
a choice.
how
They
much
like funnel
better-
you in like
Yeah.
cows.
how much better life will be if you just drink Coke at like all these different events in your life.
And poor Mark just totally like fell apart.
Mark
Too
died.
much.
Because it's all of those like Coke commercials that are like, oh, share a Coke with a friend, and it's like your life will be better if you have Coke with friends, and it's all like a soldier returning from war, and there's like
Like
a
someone
person who's going skydiving for the first time,
They're
and then like
proposing, a couple proposing
and
to
like
each other.
a granny having a surprise party,
I thought she
and
was gonna have a
everybody's
heart attack.
yeah, so did I. I was just waiting, for,
I was
or like the
I was-
proposal one is just waiting for just a boom right off the side.
balloon falls.
But it's all that like hyper emotional manipulation that like Mark just like I teared up at a little bit, and Mark just couldn't. Mark had to go sit in dark corners afterwards.
Yeah, that activates my condition.
Oh my god.
We're not sure which condition though.
Yeah, there's something wrong with me. They can't do that.
But yeah,
Boy, ain't
it's
right.
like you go into World of Coke and there's like this huge room of like their advertising pieces and really old like antiques and shit, and then you go from that room where they like talk to you about the advertising and antiques. You go to the other room where they show you a 6-minute propaganda film.
Oh no, that's like 360 all around you, and then they show
No, that's
you.
after the
that's
vault.
like-
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, we
can we talk about the Gen Z tour guide, which was the greatest
That was
fucking
great.
thing ever? He's like, man,
So, okay,
this dude invented Coca-Cola, and he was just like in the struggle, man. He's got to get that
You're
money.
jumping forward.
when you leave the movie theater, they tell you that like there's like 3 attractions on the ground floor and 4 attractions on the second floor, but you can't go into the tasting area until you're done. Once you go into the tasting area, you can't go back into anything else. So we're like wandering around, wondering like, well, what the fuck do we do now? So we go into like the next attraction, which is the vault, which is just it was a clusterfuck and a half. Like everything about it was a clusterfuck.
It really was just
There's
so weird.
too many people in there.
Yeah.
First, they trap you in a room, like this, like tiny.
A rubber room.
It really
A
was.
rubber room with rats.
It's like there was steel.
And like
the
iron
wall.
bars. They had iron bars that they'd open and close to let people in.
Oh my god, it was
Nelson's
so
gonna
cheesy.
eat some M&Ms into the
It
microphone
was
now.
so cheesy.
Yeah, thanks for that, Nelson. That's
You're
making
welcome.
my editing really easy. Would you like to crinkle a bag of chips in front of the microphone?
Fuck off.
This is
not
what's left of the
ASMR.
South ASMR.
Just a bag of M&Ms. So we go into like where this vault thing is, and now you can talk about the Gen Z guy,
This dude, Rico, I don't know what his name was.
Rico with bleach blonde
The
hair.
bleach blonde hair was like, hey man, who's the dude who invented Coca-Cola? Dr. Samuel.
Who
Something.
cares?
We did
Some
not.
jackass.
We are not immune to propaganda,
So
but
this
we
dude-
didn't take in all
He
of
was
it.
like,
Nelson.
he was like Pickett. I don't know what the fuck his name was, but he was like, yo man, this guy invented Coca-Cola. He was out here grinding. He's in the struggle. You know, he's got to get that money, man. You know, Coca-Cola's busting. You know what I
And
mean?
the thing is that Nelson is not exaggerating. This is exactly what this guy sounded like.
Like, made no fucking sense whatsoever.
And then, like, he's on a microphone. The microphone dies halfway through. But he's, like, leading us, a giant group of people leading us through this really small kind of museum trail.
And I think he was like maybe 5'1".
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
tiny. But every time we got into another area where he'd stop and talk to us, there was also a voiceover that was happening inside the museum. So there was like all the people talking in there in a small room, him on the microphone, and then a voiceover that's happening inside the museum. So like anybody who has auditory processing issues, man, you're fucked, including me, because I had no idea what was going
That
on.
shit was busting, man. And I thoroughly looked for Fanta ads between 1936 and 1945, and they did not have any.
Yeah, they're peak capitalism. Why would they do that?
Although we did find the Argentinian vehicle that was commissioned in 1938.
Oh,
Remember that?
And we did see old Fanta bottles, and it
Like
was
from the 60s, though.
They didn't have any. They didn't have any Coca-Cola or
You left out
Fanta.
the Coke, like, you're in the, like, glass experience.
Oh yeah, the 360 thing.
Well, they tried to virtually drown us.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna show you the recipe, the secret recipe. Nobody knows it. They're not allowed to go on planes together." Blah 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 blah. And then like the 360 screen splits open, and there's the quote unquote vault that they keep one of the recipes in.
This shit ain't in there.
Another Gen Z tour guide said that the polar bears were going to come out and nibble on your toes.
No freaking polar bears. Like I'm not immune to propaganda, but I am interested in advertising, the psychology of advertising. And one of the things that I do like is the Coca-Cola polar bears. I think they're pretty cute. And they said that there's going to be Coca-Cola polar bears, especially because it's fucking Christmas time. In, like, the experience, not one goddamn polar bear.
Not one goddamn fucking
He was on
polar
his
bear.
break.
Smoke break.
He's just out by with the head off and a cigarette.
I just wanted to ask the tour guide about what happened in Colombia at the Coca-Cola bottling plant in
Do
the
you
90s.
think either one of those men would have a single
Do you think any of the people who worked there were ever actually,
I know,
like,
right?
taught about that?
What happened to the Coca-Cola bottling plant in Colombia in like the early 2000s?
But it was basically, we ended up there because we had finished the aquarium faster than we thought we were going to. We had already, like, we had parked in this parking garage where the parking was $20. Like, we should continue to do our day out. So what are we going to do? We ended up in the Coke
You would
experience.
have thought we'd go to the Human Rights Museum. Considering the podcast. No.
No. We ended up trying a lot of different soda flavors from around the world.
Yeah, so when we finally finished everything, we did the, like, smell quiz. They've got these things that you have to, like, pump to make the smell come out, and we did the smell quiz, and
That
we...
sounds so gross.
It is, because if you think about it, what we did was disgusting.
I don't know what that has to do with Coke either, that whole section.
It was like perfume notes. It was the weirdest
really was.
thing. And then we looked at, like, advertising, and then, like, an old, like, the 1800s, like, bar, like the soda jerk bars and everything.
The soda jerk statue called Marcus Slur.
That's why it's a joke.
Damn.
Never said he was a nice guy.
And then we finally decided, you know what, we're done at this cathedral of capitalism. Let's go to the Coke tasting. Oh no, we forgot the test lab.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
with a secret.
Yeah, so
formula.
they had
Oh, yeah.
they had quote unquote new Coke that anybody who's really old remembers from the 80s that was only on the shelves for what, like 60
They
days.
said like 70 days.
Something like that, and that everybody hated. They had it in the test lab. Not that any of us would know if it was actually new Coke, because I think only Adam was alive at that time.
Yeah, they had new Coke, Tab, and then
The
A23 or whatever
yeah,
it was.
it was a weird like test flavor that was bright red.
That tasted good. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
whatever it was kind of like strawberry.
Whenever it hits
and
the
something.
shelf, I'm ready for it.
And but yeah, so we ended up at the end. We went into the tasting room. Anybody who's like familiar with other Coke experiences, or if you've been to Walt Disney World, I don't know if they did it at Disneyland. They had those like giant fountains that have like 8 flavors in each fountain, and they had 5 or 6 fountains like together.
Yeah.
So you could try. I think it was like 40 flavors from around the world.
We had so much soda.
All of us were sick.
I was soda out.
We all
I
got-
realized
And the floor was so sticky.
the floor was so sticky. There was some good flavors. There were
Yeah.
some good ones. There was
Korea tended to have good ones.
yeah, there was that. I forgot where. I think that in
Mexico.
Thailand they have that sour apple one that
Yeah.
was really good.
And yeah, Central America had a lot of Inca Cola. Inca Cola
Inca
I
Kola,
liked
yeah.
before I went in there, but like Inca Cola is the shit, and then a lot of like Central American ones are pretty good.
However,
Sour plum.
Italy and Zimbabwe do not have good.
No,
soda.
China. China was
Oh, China's was
disgusting.
god awful. China,
The
Zimbabwe,
Sweet Baby Ray's.
China, Zimbabwe, and Italy. Unfortunately, Italy apparently have disgusting soda.
So Italy's is called Beverly. I've experienced this before because at Walt Disney World they used to have one of these same experiences, and it was always there. And for as long as I can remember, when I'd go with my friends, everybody would go and taste Italy, and it was disgusting because it's an aperitif, it's a bitters, and it's just gross. And I can't remember what was wrong with Zimbabwe, but
Zimbabwe's
China.
just tasted like shit, but like China's was the worst.
China. Okay, so
by
I was the
far.
first one that grabbed China, and it's supposed to be a sour plum flavor, but I drank it and I'm like, why does this remind me of meat? Why does this soda taste like meat? And then everybody else tried it, and then I think Mark said, wait, it's like barbecue sauce.
It really did smell and taste like fucking barbecue.
It was the weirdest
It
thing.
was so disgusting.
So all of us rolled out of there with upset tummies from drinking so much fucking
Oh my
soda.
God. Germany had good soda too, ironically.
Okay.
What else was
I love that moment of silence.
there
Moment
was,
of silence for the German soda.
what was that one from Mexico that was good?
I can't remember everything.
was one of those things.
But it's okay, because then we go into our family at Olive Garden.
We did. And then we went to Olive Garden because we were family.
All of us, like, again, we were just so burnt out from, like, the whole day of wandering around that we're like, fuck it, we're just gonna go to Olive Garden. We can't be bothered to find a, like, nice restaurant to go to.
Because when you're there, you're family. And I don't think she liked the fact that we started ordering on the little computer thing that's at the table.
Well, we were told that it was going to be a 40-minute wait to get in, and we're like, we're not driving around, we'll just wait the 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Ended up only being 20 minutes. And then, like, it was just the most kind of, like, awkward and stilted experience inside there. And, like, it's like, oh, well, everything's so busy, we'll order our drinks and our appetizers on the Ziosk or whatever it's called. And so we started with that, and then she arrived, like, as we were finishing that order. And then she asked us again when we were ordering, so we're like, are we not going to end up with a load of...
It would have been awesome.
a load of mozzarella and, like, 2 orders of drinks. But, yeah. Nelson almost shit his way through the meal.
Oh, my God. I need to go home and drink some fiber badly. And then we all went back and went to bed. Mark screamed in his sleep again. And
at the hotel, there seemed to be somebody screaming in the hotel at about midnight, 1 a.m.
The fire alarm.
For 2 nights in a row, the fire alarm has gone off in the middle of like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe it's haunted.
It's just like one solid like triple beep. And for some reason, Nelson doesn't wake up. Mark and I wake up when it happens. It's this
Hell
hotel. No, we didn't even say the part where the hotel is being renovated, so half of it isn't open. Like the whole like downstairs desk area and where they serve breakfast is all like tore up. So they serve breakfast in like a hallway.
Microplastic.
There's asbestos in my eggs.
So okay.
So today.
That leads us to today.
Today was not bad until the end.
So Nelson took us to Callaway Gardens because
it's one of the few places from my childhood that still has nostalgic and positive memories. Except the fact they closed the inn where we always stayed, now it's abandoned, and it's just really creepy driving by there.
It was never open.
you never actually stayed there.
Oh no, I'm not real.
It's the timeline. The timeline. Now that we've fixed it, it's diverging again.
The fuck is Saskatchewan?
Every night there's a new meme. If you like, there's gonna be memes in this. You just have to like go with it. Join our Discord if you want to see the memes.
You telling me Gold DeWall's a damn Yankee? The hell is Saskatchewan?
I don't give a
Is
piss.
he Chinese? I don't give a piss about nothing but time. I don't give a piss. Oh
my God.
God, we were on a roll after fucking Olive Garden.
It's the carbs.
What did we? I don't even remember half the shit we said.
You're telling me a Trans-Siberian this orchestra? Oh, we had Gay Boomer today. Didn't know he was Gay Boomer. I can't remember any of
What did
it.
we say?
I'll gladly hold your hand when we run into battle, brother.
I tell you what, brother. I got you, Chris Kyle.
That was it. I never had sex with my wife and I ended up with a kid, so I know it's possible. I never had sex with my wife because vaginas are gross.
Listen here, Chris Kyle. I'll protect you, and I got a sniper rifle cocked and ready.
And it's not shooting blanks.
I'm American Sniper.
No.
Chris Kyle, get over here and have sex with my wife.
Sniper, I barely know her.
So anyway.
What the hell is Saskatchewan? No, inside you there are 2 wolves.
Well, okay, so Nelson took us to the
Country
restaurant
kitchen, yeah.
Country Kitchen
Yeah.
at Callaway Gardens. We had a very nervous waitress.
Yeah, oh my God. God bless.
Had our chicken, had our shrimp po' boy, ate, fucked up the country store where Mark and I got dirty looks because we were laughing at a stuffed cow.
Yeah, no fun.
No fun allowed. And again, it was like this place, the only melanin in the whole place were the people working there.
Yeah.
It was just a whole bunch of white
Yeah,
Christians who
money
just
white,
did
like-
not like us.
Right on, brother. And then we came up with the best meme ever. How did it start with Genghis Khan? What was it?
Because
You can tell us the best meme ever when no one can remember how it goes.
Shut up, Mark.
it's because like that story that like everybody, like due to statistics, everybody has Genghis Khan's DNA because he had so many kids, etc., etc. And then we came up with like, oh, especially in this area, everyone's Cherokee. So inside your two wolves, one is Genghis Khan's DNA and one is your 0.003% Cherokee DNA.
But you think you're a Viking.
Because Viking is a DNA group, apparently.
Exactly. Oh my god. And then we left the country store and I drove them around the gardens and we went to the butterfly house and
And he had a butterfly licking his head for like 10 minutes.
And Mark did not have a panic attack. Very close to it, but did not.
You don't know that.
So you did have a panic attack.
No. That's fine.
Mark didn't even hang out with. Mark was so happy doing his own thing.
Yeah.
We wandered around, and then Mark was just very happily looking at everything
Yeah.
else.
He was skipping around with the butterflies.
Just frolicking with the butterflies.
But yeah, a butterfly landed on Nelson's head and just would not stop licking the sweat off his head, which every person we passed by had to point out that he had a butterfly on his
butterfly
head.
in your head. I was like, yeah, I know, brother. I don't get pissed about nothing but tide. I don't get pissed about nothing but tide. Blitz, baby, blitz. But
And then we went to...
then we went to the Discovery Center.
Right.
That was Mark's paradise. And then we tried to see the birds of prey. But Mark, you want to tell us what happened?
A bird of prey that actually lives there.
Showed up.
It showed up.
Yeah. Bald eagle.
Yeah, we were like, so the Bird of Prey show is like a little tiny like seating area that's in front of the actual lake. And so they brought out like one bird to show everybody, but it wasn't a free flying bird. And then before they brought out the next bird, the assistant was like, oh, there's a bald eagle, so we can't bring out the other birds because it's open air theater. And so we're like watching this bald eagle across the lake, and the bald eagle wouldn't fucking leave, so no other birds were allowed out.
And they thought he left for a second, and then right before they're about to release that,
The bald eagle
we're
showed
like
up again.
pointing at it, like, oh shit, it's over there.
Like sat on a branch, like ripping apart a fish or whatever.
I'm surprised you didn't shout, "Watch your six!"
Oh, you know, one of those fucking dude bros was about to say that.
Yeah,
I saw
my
a number of
seat
them.
got fucking colonized. Did y'all see that?
What was going on? There was like throwing. The kid was like throwing shit.
There was okay. So we got there probably pizza. Welcome everybody. We have pizza now.
Pizza time.
Action.
I won on the jaw. I tried to get on the jaw of the trolley, and all I got was this trench foot.
I just almost spit up my pizza at the side of Nelson's feet.
So I have
Your feet look like they were in a coma.
Just your
I had
toes.
socks. I had socks on. I had my Adidas like indoor soccer shoes, right? And I don't know what happened. If like the dye from the shoes bled through.
Because we were walking through 3 inches of water.
We were getting fucking
But we
frostbite.
jumped in the story.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we did the bird show.
They're gonna have to cut off my feet.
We did
I'm Wilfred Brimley,
Enough.
and I got diabetes.
Let Kai finish.
Oh, fuck, I'm gonna puke this pizza. Okay.
I did actually hit Mark in this trip.
And then I kicked Nelson up the ass over it. Okay, so we did the Butterfly Center, we did the Discovery Center, we
The
did
goddamn
the Bird of
bald
Prey
eagle
show.
ruined the fucking birds
Yeah,
of prey.
no more birds came out for the Bird of Prey show because of the bald eagle.
God bless the lady that was putting
She
on.
was really good.
She was great at it. She did a really good job.
Oh my god. And like there were so many kids, so many families with like 15 fucking children.
Listen, if anyone's talking about like any birth rates going down, that's full of shit. 'Cause, like, there's so many of these little bastards running around.
All of them under the age of 6. Like every single one of them.
All of them. Why do they cough?
Did you see
Incessantly.
that little girl who just like ran in front of all of us? Just,
They have I've always noticed this, like little kids have like wet, nasty cough. They always coughing. Why are they always coughing?
I can't help you there.
I don't know.
They're little petri dishes.
Why do they just cough constantly?
So we got there like 5 or 10 minutes before the show was supposed to start. Fairly full seating area. And as the show was about to start, like, so many people showed up. And the row behind us... So when we sat down in our row, it was empty. We were the only people sitting there. The row behind us had a big space between people on one end and the other. And one end of the people was obviously, like, saving the bench for the rest of their family, like 15 fucking people. Like, who did just decide to show up, like, 2 minutes before the show started. And they came with, like, 8 children. And so, the space between me and the end of the row ended up getting colonized by these fucking white people. So,
Hell yeah.
so, like, these 3 adults show up and they sit down from this family, and they had the 2, like, I guess, littlest kids with them. Probably, like, 5 around there, the age. And, like, the seating area is gravel, so the kids just decided to sit their asses in the gravel and throw rocks. Like,
To be clear, we don't hate children.
I do.
To be clear, we all hate children.
No, I do not hate children. I just think that a lot of families try to take their kids to things too young.
Oh yeah, by far.
Like a lot of these
100%.
kids, they had no concept of a bird, basically. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them were so little, they had no concept. They were just learning the words for birds. So, like, you take them out there, you expect them to sit through a 20-minute presentation about birds. They're not going to be able to do it. They can't sit for long. Like, they couldn't sit between when they got to the bench and the show started. Like, these kids were already sitting down in the rocks and, like, throwing them.
I really bet that, like, if they actually did the free flying birds, one of the kids would have reached up and hit the bird. Like, I guarantee you that would have happened.
Like, I understand that you're, like, a lot of parents are trying to show their kids, like, give them an appreciation for these kinds of things young, but they're so young that they're just disruptive. Like, wait another year, just one more year, and your
Yeah.
kids would probably have enjoyed it. But it was just, like, a gaggle of kids everywhere just coughing and talking and, like, throwing rocks. One of them had a little pyramid of rocks on the bench in front of us, and every time he moved, they'd fall off. It was chaos.
Blocking the walk past so that guy in the wheelchair couldn't get through.
Yeah.
So they could take a picture. It was like, all right, y'all, like, calm down.
So, yeah, they decided to end the show without flying any more birds because the bald eagle wouldn't go. The bald eagle lives there. Okay, the bald eagle wouldn't leave. So they decided to end the show.
Didn't have to leave.
No,
It was like,
It's his house.
yeah.
which we will get to again in just a few
Oh,
seconds.
yeah.
But as we're leaving, like, we are 4 fairly able adults who don't have a bunch of kids or, like, older relatives to move out of there. So we, like, shoot out of this little stadium. And as we get to the end, in the walkway, which is in the woods, there's, like, this sign of bird wingspans. And, like, every family wanted to stop and have their shitty little kid show their arm length next to the wingspan of these birds and take up the entire damn walkway, taking pictures of their kids who have no idea what the fuck is going on.
While this, like, guy in a wheelchair is, like, 100% disabled.
There's like 75 to 100 people trying to get out of this tiny little walkway, and people with mobility devices who are stuck because these parents want to take pictures of their kids who have no idea what's going on. So we end up just, like, walking through the woods to get out of
Into
there.
the woods.
And then we get to the other side. So this place likes to live dangerously because their boardwalk has no, like, railing
Hell yeah.
on anything, and it's up, like it's up a bit. So we get to this boardwalk area where there's people looking down into the tiny little gully that's underneath it, and this kid decides to info dump to us about the kind of snake that they see, which is a baby cottonmouth.
Yeah, there's a baby cottonmouth.
It was tiny, like little pencil of a snake, and this kid decides to tell us every fact about cottonmouths and how dangerous and
It's
how
a venomous
aggressive.
and aggressive snake.
And like this cottonmouth was just chilling. He was just tiny little guy chilling under a leaf, and he's telling us how aggressive this snake is.
Talk about living dangerous though. You fell off that thing and like fell
On top of that little
and it
snake.
bit like a fucking snake. Talk about living
That's your
dangerous.
fault. The snake lives there.
Like Mark and I were walking away. He's like, you can't call him aggressive in his own house.
Yeah, you're just doing nothing.
Like, imagine you're at home. Somebody you don't know walks into your home and calls you aggressive.
You're just on the couch.
I'm sorry.
I'll show you aggressive.
I stayed in my ground. I stayed in my ground, brother.
This is my
I love
domain.
you, Chris Kyle. I don't give a piss about nothing but tag.
So we end up like finishing at the Discovery Center, and we're waiting for our Jolly Trolley time. So we went and found the
Chapel, which is nice.
the chapel, which is
and
beautiful.
the Frontier home.
Yeah, the chapel has like stained glass. It's all natural themed, so it's got like aspen trees and oak leaves and flowers, and it's beautiful. They tried to make us not go because they left the signs up for, I guess they had a wedding earlier in the day, but we just disregarded the
Who
signs.
said fuck it?
So we walked down there. That was really pretty.
And then, since I'm so smart, I go into this area with people who are religious. Going into this church, and I'm wearing a t-shirt that has Danny DeVito's face photoshopped onto the Virgin Mary. And it says Saint DeVito at the bottom.
Hell yeah, brother. Non-denominational.
Oh, we should also explain why people weren't having we weren't allowed to have fun at the Country Kitchen, because Mark and I walked into the kids area of this store where they had a plush cow for sale. Mark picked it up and we're like, oh no, we don't like that, because they had like put the udders. So this little cow is like, it's kind of like a sitting human shape. So its belly is like front and center, and they put the udders directly in the middle of the belly and then made the udders into a circle so it looked like the cow had ringworm. And both Mark and I are laughing, and then we get dirty looks from the white Christian ladies who did not like.
Holding her grandbaby.
What incarnation?
So then Mark walks into this chapel where there was a wedding earlier wearing Saint DeVito. And
And
this
this lady with a Christmas Begins with Christ shirt.
Oh my god. So at this point we're like, okay, we should probably go over to where the Christmas village is and wait for our Jolly Trolley time. Getting up to 6
We were
o'clock.
so close, too.
So this whole time I've been texting the group chat for like a week saying like, hey, the weather's going to be really bad on Saturday. And as we got closer to it, I'm checking the weather every day. This morning I get up and see that we should have clear weather up until 6 o'clock. Our Jolly Trolley time was 6 o'clock.
Then they pushed it back to 7. The weather
Yeah,
on
we
the,
thought,
on the weather app
like,
said
oh,
push
there
it back
might
to
be
7.
rain, but the thunderstorms won't happen until 7.
Nope.
So we get into the Christmas village, we make our way over to get some snacks and some dinner, had our corn dogs and our sweet tea, and then we start to make our way to the Jolly Trolley, and it starts raining.
And I have a Nam flashback.
It starts pouring.
I heard VC trying to shoot us from the beach. I was a swiftboat captain on the Mekong Delta back in '68. I remember.
There was so many people in line, and it was raining so hard.
So hard. I had the umbrella.
Like, Mr. Speaker and I have one little like travel umbrella. Nelson has his big umbrella that him and Mark are standing under, and it just pours. It's like we're getting like standing water that's almost 2 inches deep on one side of the walkway, and then the lightning starts.
Hell yeah.
And we are
And I
getting.
have an ultimate Nam flashback. I told Mark to swing that 50 cal around, hitting the VC on the beach. Woo!
We hit the hills.
I tell you what, Hamburger Hill, brother.
And we're like, well, Nelson asked earlier in the day if they would still run the Jolly Trolley if the weather is bad, and they said they run it rain or
Hell
shine.
yeah, brother.
And goddamn if they don't mean it, because it was
Torrential
torrential.
downpour. Mark, what did you say? What did you say that made me hit you?
Nothing made you hit him.
Exactly. What you say that caused me Good
I
job.
have no power.
The white man blocked.
Stop being mean to Mark. That's my
I
son.
forgot what Mark said. I
I don't
smacked
know,
him.
but you caught me right in the forehead like a bad
I
dog.
smacked you right in the forehead.
You Buddha blessed him. That was it. You went pop right in the forehead.
You said something. It was something dumb.
Okay, I pissed those people off in front of us. My loud fucking mouth.
Like there were so
Oh
many
yeah,
people.
and then
in
Mr. Speaker is making fun of the nativity scene. Like, you can't do that here.
we
You're
are
in enemy territory.
surrounded by super religious
We're
people.
in Pine Mountain, Georgia. We're in the heart of Trump country. They don't get pissed by nothing but the dogs and Jesus.
We're in this line and it is pouring, and Mr. Speaker is getting soaked down his back, and then the wind starts kicking up and it's pushing the rain up under the umbrellas, and then like we had this huge rumble of thunder, and at this point we're like, okay, now we're gonna bug out now.
I'm calling in the Hueys. We need an evac.
So we start making our way out, and as soon as we start making our way out, apparently a whole bunch of people behind us decided
We
to
got
make
the
their way
last
out.
chopper out of Saigon.
It looked like as we're walking past people in the queue, though, everyone else is like turning around, following us out.
And like it's dark, like obviously it's dark because it's like almost like 6 o'clock, past 6 o'clock.
I saw one middle-aged guy, and he did not have a poncho or an umbrella or anything.
He just
and
stood there and took
he
it.
just stood there with his
It's like
family
the
in the
rain,
rain.
dog.
And I saw it, the look on his face, just completely disassociated, drenched in rain. Just
Have
pouring
you
out.
ever seen
All I
rain?
could think of was, all around me are familiar faces, worn out places. It's like
It's
literally.
out. That meme is out.
I just
Everyone.
needed that to stop, just everything to stop, just that song to start playing. Because his face was just every like middle-aged white dad you could ever see is just checked out completely, pouring down rain.
We were walking out, I was like going up some stairs, and it was just like torrent of water cascading
The
down
thing is,
the
like, there's like
stairs.
a couple of cement stairs, and then like it's just dark. It's dark, and you can't see anything for the rain. So we just kind of start slogging our way up this hill of
It
like.
was Hamburger Hill. I'm telling you, I had another non-flashback. Mark and I were
And
running
then
up that hill.
see
I grabbed Mark's hand. I said, "We're gonna make it out of here alive, brother."
the rain went in my
Get some.
Contacts did not like it. Everything went blurry. And I was like, wait a second.
You're not gonna get hit today, brother. I'm getting out of here.
We have to walk uphill to get to the car, so it's all this rain coming down the hill on us as we're getting up there.
Hell
We
yeah.
couldn't drain off the car park fast enough. It was
Just
Cool.
standing water everywhere. So we get to the car, throw ourselves inside it. Nelson is the only one who's mostly dry. All of the rest of us are soaked. Poor Mr. Speaker, soaked all the way through to his underwear, shoes, everything. He was completely soaked through. Especially because he was like trying to hold on to me while we were walking up that dark hill because I couldn't see shit. So he was trying to make sure that I was okay so he didn't stay under the umbrella. So we were just soaked when we got into Nelson's car. Probably why we've killed this microphone.
And then the funny thing is that the inside of the windows were wet. The outside of the windows were dry when we got to Walmart. I was like, what the fuck is
We had
happening?
to divert to a Walmart because we were so soaked through, and Mr. Speaker and I have to get a flight tomorrow, and he only had jeans, so like we couldn't make him get on a plane in jeans. So yeah, we ended up at a Walmart. Just so like we drove for what 20 minutes and the rain was gone.
Yeah.
So it's just like a downpour in this one area. So when we walked into Walmart where it was bone dry, here's us drowned rats walking into there, just completely soaked.
The demon rats. This is God's country. The damn Democrat demon rats.
And that brings us to now, back at our prison hotel.
EP.
Just ate pizza. Finally made it to the.
Take a hot shower.
But this is where the timeline diverges again. We're gonna have to come back and actually do the Jolly Trolley at some point.
God damn it. Oh yeah, we're gonna come back and we're gonna rent a golf cart.
Yeah, their golf carts are like $160 to rent for a day.
And we're fucking doing it. And we're gonna cause fucking mayhem on those golf carts.
We're doing burnouts on the golf course.
Fuck yeah, we're gonna run some boomers off the road. Be like, fuck you, bro.
Thanks for ruining our country.
I'll never be able to retire. This is for the.
You ruined our country. I'm ruining your turf.
This is for the Iraq War. You fucking boomers.
So yeah, that explains why Nelson's toes are fucking black.
Oh yeah, by the way, I just want to go on a Jolly Troll and all I got was.
I would like to now describe it for you that Nelson has pearly pink little feet, except for exactly where the toe joint is to the end of the toe is completely black. He looks like he's been like stomped on.
Justin Trudeau.
Yeah. Justin Trudeau toes. Oh my god. You tell me Cold Wall, what the hell is Saskatchewan? He's Chinese.
It looks like you have frostbite.
It does.
I
You
do.
need better socks.
Running up that hill.
Cheap ass Fruit Loom socks.
I'm gonna smack you again.
Also, just for the record, Mark and I bought Christmas presents for everyone. Nelson did not buy one damn Christmas present for anyone.
Merry fucking Christmas. Oh my god.
And
Anyway.
that's our adventure.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Whatever you say, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Mark,
I don't give a piss.
about nothing but tide. Woo!